black, a blue hat, blue and white jersey, blue jeans. He was last seen southbound, flashing a gun at people. Anybody responding to 1220 South Avers on this person with a gun?
About 15 years old, last seen southbound on Richmond.
1400 South Ridgeway, so there's gang members with guns fighting.
The west side of Chicago on a summer night is like no other place in the United States. The heat, the intensity, the militarization, and the sheer level of violence can often feel like a conflict zone halfway around the world.
People fighting, people with guns at 13th and Avers.
Over the July 4th holiday this year in Chicago, 72 people were shot, 12 killed.
He was shot multiple times. I'm dying on the inside.
In 2012, Chicago led the nation with more than 500 people murdered. That's almost 100 more than were killed in New York, a city 3 times its size.
Every single corner in that neighborhood is a drug corner.
Wow.
Every single one.
Mike Shields is a veteran cop who used to work Chicago's West Side. He is the current president of the Police Officers Union.
How would you describe the West Side to people that don't know anything about it?
You pull up onto any corner and it's almost like you're in a different country. It's almost like a third world. I know nationally people are talking about Chicago, but the areas where the gun violence is going on isn't an area that a tourist would ever find themselves in. You know, Chicago is really, a tale of 2 different cities within one.
The crime-plagued South and West Side neighborhoods of Chicago are only a few miles away from the city's glitzy Miracle Mile. But they might as well be in another world. The poverty rate here among African Americans is more than 30%, among the highest in the nation. 80% of the homicides in the city occur in these areas. Derek Shotgun Brown once controlled these streets as a feared chief in the notorious Vice Lord street gang. This is Lawndale on the west side of Chicago, ground zero for the violence that is plaguing the city.
You're on 16th Street, constant wars going on. Down here, wars. So we in the middle of a battlefield right now.
Hey, honey, we out this motherfucker, boy. Cash gang.
They throwing up their gang saying what set they from.
GD.
They young and they trying to earn a spot in this negative world.
What's the game? What's the product? What do you sell?
Crack, dope, X. If it sell, we gonna sell it.
What do we have here?
Crack.
That's crack.
Crack, $10 a bag.
$10 a bag?
Yeah.
We sat down with some young members of the Gangster Disciples, a street gang on the west side of Chicago. They had sizable stashes of drugs and illegal guns. All hid their identities.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
17. How many of your friends have been killed?
7.
7. What about you?
At least over 15.
Over 15.
I lost a lot of friends. Young
ones?
Yeah.
How young?
14, 13, 15.
Shot?
Yeah.
So how do you view the corner boys?
You mean the guys on the street?
Yeah.
Hey, they're my enemy. I hate them, they hate me. That's the way it should be. It's good versus evil. And today you're sitting with good.
Jack Riley is the DEA special agent in charge in Chicago. He says at least 80,000 active and armed gang members, coupled with an unlimited supply of illegal drugs, mostly supplied by Chapo Guzman's Mexican Sinaloa cartel, has created the perfect storm of crime and violence unique to Chicago.
From my point of view, I think Chicago and the Midwest in general right now is the most significant hub for the cartels in the country.
We haven't seen many people mentioning the cartel. Is that because people aren't looking at the root of the problem?
Well, yeah, and historically, no one's made those connections. I always say that the 80,000 street gang members are the Amway army that Chapo Guzman uses. They go door to door selling, but they're not selling laundry detergent. They're selling, heroin, methamphetamine, and cocaine.
Where do the drugs come from?
Mexico, Colombia. They the ones who bringing it. Yeah. We just at the ass saying, this our job, this how we eat. Yeah. This how we feed our families every day.
Does it ever concern you that you might be selling a product that's hurting a lot of people?
Survival of the fittest out here, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't started doing it to be a social worker.
This the only option. It was never A, B, or C. It was always just an A. This right here.
I shot people for fun. I came out every day. I sold drugs to the community. I helped tear down my community in numerous of ways.
How you present yourself is how you being viewed. Want to be a man.
Derek Shotgun Brown knows all too well how kids are pulled into gang life. At 20 years old, he was already a lieutenant in the Vice Lords and had earned his nickname from the weapon he favored to defend his drug spots. In this 1996 home video, he can be seen brandishing a revolver while his daughter plays in the background.
What's up?
When we first met him 3 years ago, he had severed ties with the Vice Lords and teamed up with a local activist minister named Reverend Hood to speak out against the kind of violence he used to revel in.
Now what's a SK?
That's an assault rifle.
Okay.
Real big shells.
Most Sundays, Reverend Hood can be found in one neighborhood or another wearing military fatigues and preaching about the war he says is tearing the community apart.
Now it's time for the Christian soldiers to come together. I feel like I'm at war in my community to save my community, to save our schools, to save our children from gun violence.
Stop the killing!
At first, Reverend Hood and Shotgun organized theatrical demonstrations around the city to protest the growing number of youth murders. At this one, Shotgun dressed up like the Grim Reaper with a coffin in tow.
The police can't talk to guys with guns in it. They have to shoot them.
And at another, they laid out on the sidewalk 102 pairs of shoes to represent the number of young people shot in Chicago in just a single 2-week period. And then, hoping to reach young kids directly, Reverend Hood and Shotgun started a boxing league literally on the streets in their West Chicago neighborhood in an effort to steer young people away from the dangers of gang life.
So we're going to let Derek talk. Some of you all may know him. He's from this neighborhood.
I come up looking up to the guys that was on the corners. What I'm doing right now is catching the kids at the same age that I was. I don't want them to grow up and do what I did.
During this presentation at a local elementary school, where ironically Shotgun himself was once expelled for gang activity, the pair persuaded the administration to let them move the boxing program inside their school gym.
The thing is, they think they learn how to box, but they're getting disciplined. Showing them respect themselves, their community. That way you're gonna keep the violence down out there and in here. And that's like so important right now. There you go, keep them hands up, go. Go, 2 rights. Stand at attention. Attention. Where your hand's supposed to be. Head straight forward, pay attention.
The boxing program emphasizes discipline and self-esteem above all else. Shotgun says not a single one of these boys has a father living at home, and that his program is one of the best opportunities some of these kids have for survival. He knows that around here, boys 10, 11, or 12 will most likely fall in with a gang even before they reach their teens.
Who was fighting?
They put Jeffrey head with the bottle. Then pulled out the gun. He said, everybody move.
Somebody put the gun out?
Yeah, Trail brother, he said, move, everybody move.
Who had a gun?
He was probably like 14.
Well, you know what happened after somebody gets shot, right? You're gonna be locked up for the rest of your life. Y'all get any problem with any of those kids, y'all go to y'all teachers, principals, parents, or come holler at me and we'll take care for y'all. Hey, money, pay attention. We're trying to help y'all right now before it's too late.
Is your dad still alive? Mm-mm. Was he killed?
Yeah.
Like doing this? You grew up with both parents?
No.
Who'd you grow up with?
My mom.
Just your mom?
Yeah.
What happened to your dad?
He got killed too.
He was killed?
Yeah.
How old were you guys the first time you ever saw somebody dead in the streets?
I was 3. I seen a man get shot in the head.
You remember this?
Yeah. That's something I'll never forget.
Waiting on my bus to come. Red Blazer pull up, shotgun come out the window and blow this guy's head off, man. I'm sitting right there. Brains go everywhere. And right then and there, like, damn, for real.
Now it happens so much in Chicago, we got used to it.
Mm-hmm.
We just doing what we gotta do to survive.
But you'd kill somebody to survive.
Hell yeah. If it got something to do with me surviving, hell yeah, I'm gonna kill your ass.
What time is it now?
10:30.
What are kids like that up to at this time of night?
Kids that age, they up to no good.
In the late 90s, Derek Shotgun Brown controlled the streets of the North Lawndale neighborhood of Chicago as a chief in the notorious Vice Lord street gang.
You failed today, but the best part is you get another chance tomorrow. Sometimes in life, a lot of people don't get a second chance.
After years in prison, he founded the North Lawndale Boxing League to help keep kids off the street after school and avoid making the same mistakes he did.
Jab hook. There you go.
Shotgun says that over the last decade, law enforcement has been effective in locking up many of the older gang leaders like himself, leaving a chaotic void on the streets that's being filled by younger and younger kids.
How old are you guys?
I'm 13.
13?
Yeah.
How old are you?
9.
9?
Been hanging with me all day.
Hanging with you?
Yeah.
What you teaching them, man?
Teaching them how these streets is.
That's what you teaching them about the streets?
Yeah.
What are you learning here on the streets?
Drug dealing, fighting, shooting.
Have you ever seen anybody get shot?
You see what you teaching him? This is a kid, and this is our future. You showing our future how to gang bang. You putting him in harm's way. You know that, right? Can you read good? I'm finna get something out. I want you to read it to me, okay?
Facebook.
Read that for me.
Talking about this right here?
Yeah, that right there.
Once again, I would like to thank all of the good people that continue to support my family.
Enough. Listen, you good, man. You a leader. You can read.
Most people on the street and drug dealers can't read like I could.
You a leader, man. You are a leader. That almost bring tears in my eyes to see this kid can read. That is something big, man. When I was 13, I couldn't read. But I bettered myself in jail. I went to jail. I was in jail when I was 13. When I turned 17, I went to the penitentiary. But I turned my life around. My best friend ended up getting killed. You don't never want to see your family dead, nothing, because it can happen to them. And the reason it happens is because we make bad decisions, man. What's your name?
Bobby.
I'm Derek, Bobby. Hey, I promise you, I guarantee you I'm coming to get you. I'm gonna look for you, man. And I'm a boxing coach, all right? Y'all going home, man, because it's too late for y'all to be out here. Without proper guidance, he's gonna be some leader of a gang. Yeah. And he's a thinker, so he's gonna be thinking criminally.
The Chicago gangs have lost their hierarchy, and each little corner is being controlled, by these, young kids that, it's not about the gang anymore. It's really about the paper. It's about money. No joke, there's 8-year-old kids that are riding their bikes along, and it may look innocent, but they're actually not out there just riding their bikes. They're riding their bikes, doing security for the dope spot.
A 12-year-old can get a gun. For real, it ain't hard to get a gun.
Easy.
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 I know a 12-year-old walking around here, $12,000 in his pocket or something put up. You see what I'm saying? It's 12 years old out here living a life. You'd be surprised.
These young members of the Gangster Disciples told us that one of the things that makes Chicago so dangerous is the ease to which anybody on the streets, whatever their age, can get a gun.
Whatever the police and the army could get, we could get.
Walk me through the guns that you have here. What would you use in different situations?
Marsburg, pump, shotgun. Out and boom, you can hit multiple people at one time. 40, Smith & Wesson. It's something small, but got a lot of power to it, a lot of kick. This right here, something small, you finna go to a party or something, put that in your boot or something like that.
So would you use that not to kill somebody, but just to kind of send a message?
You intending to kill him. Cause that's the cause and effect behind using the gun.
You can probably get a very good firearm, a very good 45, 40 caliber, a 32, a 38, a 22.